In today's world of politics, tensions between powerful countries continue to create a complicated web of interests that go beyond borders. One of the most talked about topics lately has been Donald Trump's speech and its effect on the relationship between the United States and Europe, especially when it comes to the war in Ukraine and the idea of global leadership. Trump, known for his strong opinions, talked about several important issues in his speech, emphasizing the need for Europe to take on more financial and military responsibility within NATO. This idea, while not new for him, is especially important now, as the conflict in Ukraine has tested the alliance's unity and effectiveness. Trump criticized what he sees as Europe relying too much on the United States for its safety, pointing out that many European countries aren't meeting the defense spending goals they agreed to in NATO. Europe has had a mixed response. Some leaders, particularly in Eastern Europe, agree that increasing defense spending is crucial because of the threat from Russia. However, other countries, like Germany and France, have been more cautious, arguing that the focus shouldn't be solely on the military, but also on strengthening diplomacy and economic partnerships. The speech also touched on a sensitive topic in U.S. foreign policy: the United States' role as a world leader. Trump questioned whether it's sustainable for the United States to keep bearing the brunt of the costs associated with global defense. This argument resonates with some American voters who feel that resources allocated to international security could be better spent addressing domestic issues like infrastructure, healthcare, and education. Regarding the war in Ukraine, Trump criticized the Biden administration's approach, calling it ineffective and dangerous. He suggested that a negotiated solution should be a priority, although he didn't specify how he would achieve such an agreement without compromising Ukraine's independence. This stance has sparked controversy, as some analysts believe it could be interpreted as weakening support for Ukraine in the face of Russian aggression. Historically, Trump's words reflect an ongoing debate about the United States' role in the world. During the Cold War, U.S. foreign policy focused on containing the spread of Soviet influence, a goal that justified its leadership in international organizations and its vast network of alliances. However, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, this consensus began to unravel. Globalization and shifts in the balance of power, with the rise of China as an emerging superpower, have reignited the debate about what kind of leadership the United States should exercise. At the same time, Europe's reaction to Trump's speech also reflects a growing desire to strengthen its own strategic independence. The European Union has stepped up efforts to develop its own defense capabilities, as seen in initiatives like the European Defense Fund. However, these efforts face obstacles, including disagreements among member states on how to balance cooperation with NATO and the development of independent capabilities. Another key aspect is the speech's impact on public opinion. In the United States, Trump's message may solidify his support among those who favor a more isolationist approach to foreign policy. However, it also risks alienating those who believe that U.S. global leadership is crucial for maintaining a rules-based international order. In Europe, reactions have also been mixed. Some see Trump's words as a wake-up call for Europe to take a more active role in its security and defense. Others, however, interpret his stance as an attempt to undermine transatlantic unity at a critical juncture. The backdrop also includes growing competition between world powers. As the United States and Europe seek to address the Russian threat, they must also consider the role of China, which has positioned itself as a key player on the global stage. Trump's stance towards China, characterized by a combination of trade confrontation and strategic dialogue, also influences European perceptions of how to manage relations with Beijing. In conclusion, Donald Trump's speech highlights the inherent tensions in transatlantic relations and the debate over the future of global leadership. As Europe faces the challenge of strengthening its strategic autonomy without weakening the alliance with the United States, the war in Ukraine and competition with China continue to reshape the priorities of world powers. In this complex landscape, Trump's words resonate not only as a critique, but also as a reminder of shared challenges and the need for a coherent and coordinated strategy. In this chapter, we'll delve deeper into the long-term impact of Trump's speech on the transatlantic relationship. By analyzing expert opinions and historical data, we'll explore the potential economic and political consequences stemming from his words. Experts have pointed out that Trump's speech could lead to a significant shift in how European countries approach their security and international cooperation. Some world leaders have expressed concern, while others see an opportunity to strengthen Europe's strategic autonomy. Economically, Trump's stance could influence the restructuring of trade agreements and the reallocation of resources for defense. Politically, it could fuel internal debates within European countries about the need to reduce their reliance on the United States. Gap 2S. Ultimately, this speech could have a lasting impact on future international policies and alliances, particularly in the context of global competition with China and the situation in Ukraine. Analysts agree that the transatlantic relationship is at a crossroads, and the decisions made at this pivotal moment will shape the geopolitical landscape for decades to come. Thus, as Europe and the United States navigate these uncertain times, the legacy of Trump's speech will remain a key reference point in the evolution of their relationship.